As this lawsuit has now moved here to Canada, a group of people had the idea to come together and build a committee in solidarity with the affected communities in Ecuador in order to expose the wrongdoing of this company in Ecuador and pressure them to clean up the rainforest. And this is very important also to do here in Canada, because if Chevron is forced to pay to the affected communities in Ecuador, this will leave precedent also for other communities that have been affected by this kind of companies all around the world, and especially also here in Canada.
And basically what I did is I lived in the community and spoke to people on a daily basis, did a census, and just asked them how the oil contamination had affected them. The effects of Tóxico at the time, now Chevron, because they changed their name, they left over 600 oil wells, oil pools. What does that mean? That means the contamination that's left over after the oil has been extracted, they just left in these pools. Now, at the time when they did this, there was regulation in the United States that said that these pools need to have liners. The ones in Ecuador don't. A lot of their method of cleaning up at that point was just shoveling dirt over it. So a lot of that contamination went into the waterways. Some of the things that you see from people is you have deformities, cancer, miscarriages, chronic stomach problems, chronic hearing problems.
Finally, in 2011, the Ecuadorian court ruled that Chevron had to pay for the destruction that it caused and was forced to compensate the victims and survivors. So the indigenous plaintiffs now are also trying to get justice in several courts across the globe, including Canada, because Chevron doesn't have any assets in Ecuador. On December 17, 2013, the Court of Appeal of Ontario ruled that Ecuadorian indigenous communities indeed have the right to pursue all of Chevron's assets in Canada to enforce the ruling from Ecuador. Chevron has more or less $15 billion in assets in Canada. That means that the ruling from Ecuador can be collected here in Canada and justice can be done.
Hi everyone, we're here in Toronto, Canada, gathered to demand justice from Chevron and to defend the rights of the people of the Amazon.
Muchos guambras se han cortado todo el pelo mirando, hablando y criticando a los que no son como ellos.
We were gathered here today in order to begin the process to create the committee in solidarity with affected persons, in this case Chevron Tóxico, and their exploitation and contamination of the Ecuadorian Amazon. It was a very productive meeting where we were able to discuss a lot of different strategies that we hope to be able to put into practice to really strengthen at an international level the support that the affected persons and indigenous persons in Ecuador need in order to win this case. Chevron Tóxico thinks that they can get away with this. They think they can get away without paying. Well, we're going to here to hold them an account in Canada by saying that your assets here in Canada are also susceptible to be taken in order to compensate rightfully the people who have been affected by this contamination.
Chevron, clean up your mess! Chevron, paga lo que debes! Chevron, paga por ladrón! Chevron, paga por ladrón! Chevron, paga por ladrón!
Monserrat, compra com na crepe canchi. Ama kunga shuma e manda shamu kunchi. Shuja tapi por ispa, kaita jaita por ispa. Nyukanchi runa kausaita, hawa ma apashu. Nacha huna marikanchi, wai manda shamu kunchi. Ima shimita palanchi, ima yuyo wa purinchi. Hawa nyawi kana kanchi, runa marikanchi. Wai kikuna, shina jami kanchi. Yo, ama kunga aspa, ama chinga aspa, ama sakispa chekuta nirispa. Tungu kuna